So, the big question is, who is CX-2? Why does he hate Crosshair so much? And will we find out what happened to Commander Cody in Bad Batch Season 3? Well, I think I might have an idea. What is going on, everyone, and welcome back to Cantina Talk. So I know many of you and myself have been wondering what happened to Commander Cody in Bad Batch Season 2, and also what is the significance of CX-2? Why does he hate Crosshair so much, and is he in fact CX-2? This is a theory video, but it does have a lot of merit, and I think the proof is in the pudding when it comes to this case. With that, I would just like to ask that you like and subscribe. We're so close to hitting 600 subscribers, and my goal is to hit that by May the 4th. But without further ado, let's just get right into it. So, the last time we saw Commander Cody was in Season 2, Episode 3 of the Bad Batch. And in this episode, Commander Cody and Crosshair are taking control over Desix. And at the end of this episode, Commander Cody and Crosshair are talking at the Imperial HQ on Coruscant, and Commander Cody asks Crosshair, is the Empire making the galaxy a better place? And the difference between clones and battle droids is that they have the ability to make their own decisions, and the choices that they make, they have to live with them. Following this, the next day, Crosshair was seen in his quarters, almost pondering about what Commander Cody had told him. Later in that day, while Crosshair's in the mess hall eating, he is summoned by Admiral Rampart. And there he is told that he's going to be entrusted with another mission after the success of capturing Desix. Crosshair immediately asks Rampart why Cody isn't the one in charge, and then we get this bombshell by Rampart.
It appears he has gone AWOL. Clone loyalty does not seem to be as advertised anymore. Funny, isn't it? How these clones around you keep disappearing. Problem?
So with Admiral Rampart saying that, we are led to believe that Cody in fact did go AWOL. Although I think that this is very unlikely. I'll have more on this in just a little bit, but now we're going to move on to the CX clones. We have seen a total of 3 CX clones, or commonly referred to as clone assassins, currently in Bad Batch. The first one was Clone X, and he was tasked to eliminate all of the individuals with the knowledge of the attack on Taboka City that would threaten the passing of the Imperial Defense Recruitment Bill on Coruscant. Clone X was captured and stunned by Captain Rex, and then later he used an unalive shocker during questioning to get out of it. That was the first instance of us ever knowing about CX clones. With that, we'll be moving on to the second assassin clone that we saw. The second one that we saw was CX-1. He was first seen in Bad Batch Season 3, Episode 6, and he was given the assignment to assassinate Senator Singh. Luckily though, he was unsuccessful and was captured by Captain Hauser. While Captain Hauser, Rex, and the rest of the Underground were transporting CX-1 back to the Underground's hideout on Teth, they removed his unalive shocker and also removed anything that could have been tracking him, to their knowledge. With that, we also have a third clone assassin. The third assassin was also first seen in that same episode, and we had learned that his handler is Scorch from the Delta Squad. Scorch is also Dr. Hemlock's right-hand man, so very interesting. With that, we learned that CX-2 seems like he's more of a leader of this Clone X division when it comes to the hierarchy, meaning that he is essentially the commander of this unit and Scorch is the one he answers to, and so on and so forth. CX-2 is sent to Teth to eliminate CX-1 while he's undergoing questioning. We also see that this assassin has a limp, and I believe it might have something to do with Dr. Hemlock's brainwashing and torture of these clones. Along with this, we learn from the next episode that CX-2 does not like following orders, especially from other clones, most notably Commander Wolf. We know that Wolf doesn't have any knowledge of this program or the units that are being dispatched due to it being classified. Following this, the Bad Batch escapes along with the Underground, and CX-2 is actively hunting them down in Teth. We see him and Crosshair take the fight to one another a couple times, and Crosshair is easily outmatched by CX-2. I also believe that CX-2 might even have some physical enhancements, but that's a theory for another video. With this, Crosshair is easily outmatched, and him and CX-2 fall down this waterfall and land at the bottom of the ravine. There, we see them engage in hand-to-hand combat, and we can clearly see that CX-2 not only is a lot more vengeful, but easily has the upper hand. Along with this, CX-2 is taunting Crosshair by saying, "You had your chance to be one of us, but you chose the wrong side." This wasn't said altogether, it was a little bit cut up while CX-2 was beating on Crosshair, and it really made it seem like he wanted to make this personal, almost taking his time with him and torturing him along the process before finishing the job. Crosshair, however, does get a few good licks in, but it isn't nearly enough to do any damage. Luckily for him though, CX-2 took too long and ended up being stunned by Captain Hauser, which made him fall off the cliff edge, presumably falling to his death off the waterfall. My question is though, why is this so personal between these two? To my knowledge, Crosshair doesn't know who this is. He may have a hunch, but he just knows that this is a clone assassin. What would be the reasoning for this clone assassin wanting to eliminate Crosshair so badly? Well, I think that this clone assassin is, in fact, Commander Cody. After undergoing the torture and brainwashing with Dr. Hemlock, he was put in charge of this unit, and I think that they easily used Crosshair as a motive during the brainwashing. We know that Cody wanted to get out. We know that he went AWOL, or we are at least led to believe that that's the true story. I honestly think that Cody did try to escape, but was captured, tortured, brainwashed, and has been brought to the point where we are currently seeing him. Following this, we see that at the end of the episode, CX-2 does survive the fall and is later seen back on Tantus during the episode titled Identity Crisis. This is the episode where Emery gets a promotion, Cad Bane appears, and Jax tries to escape. Toward the end of the episode, Governor Tarkin summons Dr. Hemlock and is questioning him on Project Necromancer's goal. After this, Hemlock contacts CX-2, who had just finished interrogating Sid. Sid had given him the information about Fee and where they can possibly find the location of the batch. Hemlock tells CX-2 that the other operatives aren't ready just yet, but he insists that he will handle this matter. Hemlock reminds him of his past failure on Teth and not to return without Omega. I think this is huge. Hemlock just revealed that there's even more operatives than the ones we have seen. I'm guessing there's at least 3 to 4 more. With that, in the next episode titled Point of No Return, we see CX-2 track down Fee, get aboard her ship, and is able to get the coordinates to Pabu. Although the information is encrypted, CX-2 is easily able to bypass it. After finding out the location, CX-2 contacts Scorch and tells him that Sid's information was correct and that he now has the location of Omega. Scorch wants visual confirmation on Omega being there before they send in reinforcements and waste the time there. CX-2 goes to Pabu, finds the batch, Omega, and the Marauder, and reports back to Scorch. With that, Scorch tells CX-2 that if any of the other clones get in his way, while trying to apprehend Omega to eliminate them. The Marauder gets blown up, almost killing Wrecker. Along with that, CX-2 blows up the rest of the skiffs and boats on Pabu, making it so no one can escape. When the Imperial reinforcements arrive, CX-2 orders them to go door to door to locate Omega. He also threatens to burn down the entire island until they have found her. I think that this is a clear callback to the Elite Squad that Crosshair was a part of in Season 1 of the Bad Batch. While this is all taking place, Hunter tries to hijack an LA-AT gunship, but CX-2 sees this and is able to eliminate the pilot, causing the ship to crash into the water, leading him to believe the Hunter was easily killed during this crash. After this, Omega and Crosshair are talking, and Omega decides that it's best for her to turn herself in to save the people of Pabu. While Omega's turning herself in, CX-2 has her searched for tracking devices and gets handcuffed, and is brought to his ship. While CX-2 and Omega try to depart, Crosshair starts taking out troopers and tries to place a homing beacon onto the ship, but is unsuccessful, and they end up making it off-world and jump to hyperspace. My question with all this, though, is why is this still so personal to him? I think the answer, along with him being Cody, is that he was fueled by this failure to complete the task at hand, aka good soldiers follow orders. This leads straight back to the brainwashing that CX-2 had to endure, and I believe that they are tortured into believing that the job isn't done until the task is complete, and that this is what good soldiers do. Along with that, it is also a constant reminder of his failure on Teth. Lastly, in the 12th episode of Season 3, CX-2 delivers Omega to Dr. Hemlock on Tantus, and that is the last that we see of him. I think he'll definitely show up again in the show, and I believe that we will get the reveal of his identity in the finale of this season. And honestly, I think that he will ultimately die. I know this might be a long shot, but in the original draft for the Kenobi show, Commander Cody was in the script and was supposed to be one of the people in charge of the hunt to find Kenobi, fueled by the hatred of Kenobi getting away from him all those years ago on Utapau. But this didn't end up making it into the final cut, and I believe that was because Dave Filoni had other plans for Commander Cody in Bad Batch Season 2 and Season 3. All I can say for certain is that we know the identity of CX-2 will be revealed by the end of the show, and that he'll have to die by the end of the show as well. In conclusion, I think all the evidence that we have leads directly to Commander Cody being CX-2. Why would they just bring Cody in for fan service and for one episode, and then come up with the excuse as to why he isn't around anymore? And that being him simply just going AWOL. That is a big plot point, and I think without a doubt, they have to have further use for Cody in the story. And I honestly think that Captain Hauser is a prime example of that. With it all being said, I would love to hear from you all in the comments down below on what you make of this. I truly think that Commander Cody is in fact CX-2, and if Commander Cody really isn't CX-2, then I'm genuinely at a loss to who he is. I know a lot of theories out there are saying Tech, but honestly I think his death was perfect, and I don't want them to touch it and bring him back. But you never know. I would also like to give credit to Joe from Jar Jar Jargon for coming up with this theory on Cantina Jargon a couple weeks ago. He deserves all the credit for this, so go ahead and drop him a sub. The link is in the top right of your screen as well as in the description. But with that, Make sure to like and subscribe if you enjoyed the video, and I'll see you guys in the next one. And lastly, may the Force be with you all.